Hello there. Welcome back to another Donger deck discussion with your host from the Dongers of Runeterra, Seth Holocron. Hope you're all doing well in these unfortunate times. My country is going back into lockdown as of 6 p.m. tomorrow for a whole 2 weeks, but that'll probably last for at least 4. So we're going to need something to do then, aren't we? Let's be fair. So I figured out what I'm doing. I'm building a whole new bunch of decks with the champions that have been released. So we've got Tom Chen, we've got Shyvana, we've got Soraka, we've got all this sort of stuff. And I got a lot of really good positive feedback on all our social medias for doing 2 decks, 2 very different decks. With Trundle not that long ago. So we're going to do this again. Obviously, these are all brand new cards. It's a brand new expansion. It's, I'm super excited. Super excited. So, who are we going to start with first? Well, let's go with I Love Dragons. So we're going to start with Shyvana because Shyvana's class. Like, she's so good. So let's go straight to Shyvana. And, we'll start off with the deck that is just her. So, Solo. Shy Solo. Just the 3 down here. And let us show you what Shyvana does. So, she is from Demacia. I have seen a few decks on various decks for Runeterra. Going all in Demacia and playing Bannerman and all that sort of stuff. So you can go and look at decks of Runeterra and Mobalytics and see those. But mine are slightly more different. So this one I've just went for, is she good enough to be by herself? Answer, yes. Why is she good by herself? Well, because every time you attack, even at base, she gets a +1/+1 bonus. So that round, she becomes a 4/5. Very hard for things to kill her with 5 health. And her level up is Icy Dragon Allies deal 12 plus damage. Very, very easy to level her up. Her leveled up is she gets +2/+2 this round, and you get a fleeting Strafing Strike in hand. Now, Strafing Strike is a fast spell that costs 3 mana. An ally and an enemy strike each other. Then if the ally is a dragon, you heal it 2. That's a good spell, by the way. People were going, it's a worse one of these. It's a worse single combat, which I've just added for no reason whatsoever. So there we go. There's single combat. An ally and enemy strike each other. It's a mana cheaper, but we're playing dragons. So I don't want single combat. I want things that level my dragons and make them better and more healthy. And there's a lot of very small things that your dragons can then smack, removes the opponent's unit from the board, and then you heal 2. And if it has Fury, like all my dragons do, then it's getting a +1/+1 as well. All of a sudden, by about round 8, you're getting 12 11 dragons across the board. Out of which, if you get a second Shyvana, you get Confront, which is her champion spell. You grant an ally challenger, Burst, but it costs 3. Now it can be okay, but it's not really that good. This, however, this is amazing. So let's go through the deck because we've got to get through 2 today. So no 1-drops whatsoever. You're not doing anything on 1. Which gives you 3 spell mana. Total mana. 1 from round 1 and the 2 from round 2. We're running 3 Herald of Dragons. It's a terrible standard card. I mean, it's an awful card. But we're running so many dragons that if we can reduce those by 1, that's fantastic. Like, it is really fantastic. So, really handy to put onto the board first. As is our other 2-drop, which is a Solari Shield Breaker. Now, if we are attacking on odds, I would probably put Herald of Dragons down and then not attack. if we're defending on evens, then I would literally put this one down first, because it's a 3/6 and nothing's stopping that. And they probably won't throw anything out, and it'll probably be a double pass. And then he reverts back to being a 3/2 from a 3/6 because he gets +4 health for that round. This card is disgusting in this deck. For 3 mana, because we're now into the 3-drops, and we're running 12 cards that cost 3 mana. Dragon's Clutch is brilliant. Draw 2 different dragons or grant dragon allies 1/1. Now, I'd have been happy with just draw the 2 different dragons or the allies +1/+1. But the fact that it gives you the choice. So it's a bit like Twin Disciplines. More attack or more health. This is a brilliant card. And in a dragon deck is literally clutch. It is clutch because it is fantastic. If you're running dragons and you're not running 3 of these, you're doing something drastically wrong. 23 from Targon and 17 from Demacia. And then I'm running 3 Mobilize, which is a card that can be absolutely fantastic as it reduces the cost of all allies in your hand by 1. So if you've got 6 or 7 cards and you've got 5 or 6 actual units, and let you know what we've got. We've got 25 units and 15 spells, no landmarks. Because I don't think landmarks work very well with Shyvana at the minute. I'm sure somebody will come up with something pretty soon that will include a Demacian or Targon landmark that it does really well. But at the minute, it doesn't. So what we need then is something to reduce the cost of the allies by 1. And as dragons are expensive, like we're running, so Shyvana is 4, the White Flame Protector is 4, and then other things like the Firebrand and the big Uber Dragon that is just phenomenal. Are now an 8, not a 9. Which is fantastic. So if you've got that in there, you can then drop that in 8, and that is tempo that is just real hard for your opponent to try and get around. But we're also running 3 Solari Priestess, and the reason for this is you can get some amazingly great Celestial cards that cost 4, 5, or 6, like deal 4 to a unit, 1 to another. You can get the Lifesteal and Elusive units. There's so many good things that you can put on there to keep you on curve. So we are sort of like a Demacian standard deck where you put things out on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you just keep going. So it is like a mid-range deck, but there's a lot of good combo pieces in here. So it's like a combo mid-range kind of a feel to it. And then my favorite card. Oh God, this is. I mean, I love this. I love this. We're going to go through each dragon, and we're going to show you that they've all got Fury, and because they've all got Fury, they're getting +1/+1 to their stat line because it's granted. As soon as they've survived, pretty much. And the fact that you can then heal it too, you're getting really, really close stat lines. So you'll be like an 8/7, a 10/9, all that sort of stuff. Brilliant. Brilliant. I've actually got it where I had more health than I had attack, which is like, whoa, that's so damn good. So yeah, it's excellent. I had a White Flame I think it was like a 6/8 at one stage, which is pretty decent indeed, and taking units off the board. Bastion has went to 4 in the update. Was 3. Still burst, still grant ally +1/+1 and spell shield. 3, it was far too cheap. I knew this was going to go to 4. I think everybody knew this was going to go to 4 mana. We're running 2 of because it's still brilliant. You're getting a +1/+1 across the board, whatever unit you put it on. And the spell shield will probably keep Shyvana alive. And then we've obviously got Shyvana. And then, remember, she's a dragon. So all of her damage helps level her up. And she's immediately hitting for 4. So if you can then get something like... she gets Fury when she levels up. She doesn't have a base, so her level 1 is just that. But Fury, when I kill a unit, grant me 1/1. So use your Strafing Strikes to take out units with dragons. They then get a 1/1 because of this, and then they deal it 2/2. Because you're healing it too. It's horrid. It's just horrible. So there's the White Flame Protector with, you guessed it, Fury. Kill a unit, grant me 1/1. So if you take out a 2/2, it becomes a 5/3. But if you kill it with Strafing Strike, it becomes a 5/5. That's really damn good, because it's even more damage for Shyvana. Shyvana does level really quick in this. We're running 3 of those and 3 White Flame Protectors. Now, the problem I had with my initial dragon deck, which was just Aesol and as many dragons as I could put in, was the Mind Splitter. Because the Mind Splitter is disgusting. So that's the one that is an 8/8 stun 2 units at the start of every single round, effectively taking your 2 of your dragons out of the game. And I have seen people use like a Vile Feast or a Mystic Shot to pop Aesol's Spell Shield and then bang down the Mind Splitter, which is just horrible. And I have an Aesol doing nothing and no real way to be able to deal the 8 damage to kill off the Mind Splitter. So we're in Demacia. Well, we've got that sorted. Welcome to Concerted Strike, which we're running 3 of because it is way too good not to be running 3 of. So pick 2 allies, 1 with 4, 1 with 6, and just take that Mind Splitter off the board, freeing up your units. And because we're running 3 of them, we can draw into this a lot. And that is for really big units. You can literally take a Nautilus off the board. You can take a gigantically mega hail Trundle and take it off the board as well. Concerted Strike with dragons, probably the best combo piece in the game. That obviously costs 5. We are doing 3 Fused Firebrands from Targon with Fury, with Spell Shield. Phenomenal, well-statted, well-rounded. Just a really good card, to be fair. And then I was going to run the Demacian 5-drop. And that's their dragon, which is this. Because it has not only Fury, but it also has Challenger. Now, this was in my initial build. I tested it out. It was the weakest dragon going. So I thought, right, okay, I will probably have at least 4 dragons, including Shyvana. And they're all better statted and do better things. So this dragon did not make the cut. What did make the cut is the Radiant Guardian. Because things will die. You know, the Solari Priestess will die. And when you're on 5, people probably won't be expecting a Radiant Guardian in a dragon deck. So then you're getting Lifesteal and Tough if an ally died this round. Brilliant. It's keeping your Nexus health up all the time. And Tough really protects her a lot. Still a great card, even though she's now a 4/5. And in my opinion, the second best dragon in the game. When an ally with Fury kills an enemy for the first time each round, and everything here, until you level up Shyvana, that means all the dragons will have Fury. The first time each round, you get a random dragon follower in hand. I have had... where's the 7-drop? Where's the 7-drop? It's just random dragons, and it's not even from in here. It's the elusive one that was in the 1-turn kill duo deck that I made not that long ago, which is just bonkers when that goes over, because then it's just going straight through everything. And Folius Fox is phenomenal. He can kill something, so you want all your dragons to be going out left to right first to get it in, and if you have your Strafing Strike, smack it in there, get it done, you get another dragon, you replace something like the Solari Priestess, or you get rid of your Herald of Dragons, because you don't care about that stage. By that stage, you're more than happy to put out your dragons at full cost. Now, we are running 3 of those. And then we've got the Pierre de Resistance. By the time you can cast Judgment, and I'm not talking about banking any spell mana, round 8, we go from 6, no 7-drop, to 8 and 9, and we have Judgment. Your biggest dragon will probably be something like 9 or 10 power by the time that this actually happens, with all its hails and its +1/+1 stats because of Fury. If they go out and swing and have a full board, you put out one that you know will take out them all. Block the weakest one, and then fire out Judgment. And against anything apart from Shadow Isles, a PNZ, or Ionia decks, this can't be stopped. This can't be stopped. They cannot get their... I mean, they can Vengeance it, but they can't Thermo Beam it. There's nothing that's going to kill this off apart from Vengeance, Ruination. But again, these are all slow spells. So at fast, you're only really looking at Vengeance. Or an Atrocity, but even that is probably not going to kill your 9-10 dragon. Or your 10-9 dragon. Because most things aren't that big. But those are quite slow spells. So, this just wipes their entire board. This is our Ruination we're running one of. And then the last card, Daddy Uberman that he is Cadragan the Infernal. Gain Fury. Stats 9/6, cost 9 mana. When I'm summoned, you grant you grant other dragon allies everywhere, and by everywhere that means in play, in hand, in deck, in discard, even if created or summoned later, everything gets +2/2. Now, you could run 2 of these because it's probably worth it. Now, I only own the one, but I may buy a second one because that is brilliant and replace the Judgment. But as the Judgment will literally take everything off the board. Note, we're not running this dragon. Again, that's a possibility as well. You could put the Infinite Mind Splitter in instead of Judgment. There are still options that you can do. So that is Shy solo. Shy because she's all by her lonesome. So let's team her up with somebody really good. And I love the effect of Rally, which is why we've got Garen in here. And Garen right there, he strikes twice. Round start, you rally straight away. And when you've got an enormous board full of dragons, you're doing really good. But this is a completely different deck altogether. Again, no 1-drop. But we have other cards, a lot of 2-drop things. More spells as well. No, we're actually down a spell. We're in 26 units and 14 spells. And we're starting with a Dragon Guard Lieutenant. When I'm summoned, if you behold a dragon, grant me Challenger. Now, a 3/2 Challenger on round 2 is probably going to die. So it's not really that good. And you need to have the dragon in hand to get it done. But it's board presence. And that's what he is there for. To be able to get something against, say, a 1/1 spider or something, you can block. And as long as you can kind of do what you need to do here, you're going to want at least 1 Dragon Guard Lieutenant and 1 Egghead Researcher. Because you're not playing anything on 1. Then you're dropping something on 2 and banking the mana. And then you're playing another one on 3 and banking the remaining mana. So now on round 4, you have got the 4 for Shyvana, because that's what you want. You want a Dragon Guard Lieutenant, an Egghead, a Shyvana, and some type of 2-cost spell. So that's him. Pretty much a decent unit just to start off the game with. The Egghead is an interesting card. Of course, the Lieutenant and the Egghead are both brand new cards from the new expansion. And he's listening to when the Dragonling Egg is going to appear. Terrible stats, 1/3, but he will survive. You know, even a 2/1, a 2/2 House Spider, somebody drops down, anything 2/2, you know, it's still, he'll survive. But when he's summoned, you create a random dragon follower in hand, and that's from anywhere, from any region whatsoever. You get a random dragon follower in hand, which then allows that to come up. So, no dragon, drop Egghead first. Got a dragon, drop the Dragon Guard first. And then you can drop this one next and get another dragon. Because it is still a dragon deck, but it plays much, much differently than the solo Shyvana deck that I showed earlier. Again, we're running 3 Herald of the Dragons, because your dragons cost 1 less, which is fantastic. And this is a really good card. Again, brand new from the expansion. It's a sharp set. Burst spell that gives an ally 2/2, and I can block units with elusive this round. So, no, Greenglade, you ain't getting in for free. No, Teemo, you're not putting puff caps into my Nexus. No, thank you very much. No, you're not doing that whatsoever. And it's cheap. It's not only cheap to craft, it's cheap to cast, and that's great in Runeterra. Mana efficiency, really, really, really good in here. So, you know, we have got units that we can play all the way up until we get to our dragons. So, early board state, get them out there, block them up, keep your Nexus okay, and this is fantastic to put onto something like a Herald of Dragon, and then you can block Teemo, for instance, or anything else big that can come down, like the elusive dragons that are kicking around in the celestial heavens. So that is that, and then we are again. We need 3 of these. These are great. If you're bricked and you don't have any dragons, draw 2. It'll set you up for later. Both of these decks are very slow. Probably don't win until round 8, 9, or 10. But I've beaten Asol. Asol went down and I still won. Just because there's just way too much stuff going on. I'm thinking of adding Zenith Blade into this one, but I'm taking out Mobilize, I think. But that's one consideration. So these 3 cards, Dragon's Clutch, Mobilize, and Strafing Strike, and Shyvana, we are all still the same. And then we go into well, kind of the same, but not really. So, yes, 3 Shyvana. Yes, 3 White Flame Protector, because if you don't have Shyvana, at least that is a 4/4 solid statted thing. We're running 2 Concerted Strikes. Now, why aren't we running 3 like the other one? Well, because I want to test out the Dragon Guard Lookout. And if it performs badly, then Concerted Strike will go in, and then we will probably add in a 3rd Infolius Vox to this deck as well. But we'll get to the Dragon Guard Lookout in a wee minute. So this, as I said in the previous deck, brilliant for taking out massive units. You have massive units. You'll probably have a leveled up Shyvana. Off you go, wreck everything, and just do a whole load of stuff, to be fair. This deck can withstand a lot of big units. It's done very well against like Braum decks, Trundle decks, all that sort of stuff, up against Yetis and all that sort of. It holds its own really well. Again, we're not running things like Pale Cascade or anything like that in the healing. The healing is all done by killing. So slightly like Shadow Eyes deck, both of them. Obviously, with all the fury going around, you're getting a +1/+1. Garen, obviously, 5/5, good unit, really good champion, and Rally It with Dragons is fantastic. And instead of putting in the 3-cost slow spell to give us Rally, Garen will level up real fast. He levels in 2 turns against nearly every deck in the meta. He's super good. So keeping him alive, fantastic. Screeching Dragon, however, did make it in here. And there's a reason why this card is in this deck and not the other one. To protect our little units. To protect these, we can now use the Screeching Dragon, because it still has Fury, but the Challenger here is really important. And it's really important because you take the thing that is going to die away, and even if this dies, that's fine. We're going to be using this as the ultimate shump blocker in Runeterra. It is fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. And the fact that if you can Strafing Strike with this to then make this a 7, because, you know, he's doing really well. It hit a 3 or a 4, he's going to heal. You know, he'll go down to 1 and then become a 4/3 and then take out the other unit. So this guy can take out 2 units at a time with Strafing Strike, which is fantastic. Added to which, it's a beefy unit. You don't have to challenge. You can just put him out and block. which is equally good too. Here's the Dragon Guard lookout. Now, I'm all in on Rally on this. Because when I'm summoned, if you have a dragon on the board, which you will, or in hand, which you will rally again. So between Garen and the Dragon Guard, I'm not too sure this is a good card. The stats for a 6 cost and rally, I don't think 3-5 is good enough. I'd much rather see this be probably like a 2-6. 1 extra health, 2 power. I think that would make it a lot better. But you get rally, so we're running 2 of these. I might need to run 3. Who knows? And then we're running 2 Involius Fox and 1 Cadgrian the Infernal. So this is the rally deck pretty much. These are a lot of new cards in here. The Dragon Guard, the Egghead, Sharp Sights, Strafing Strike, Dragon Guard, and Cadgrian, and that is that deck done as well. Guys, the links and the deck codes for our Discord, these 2 decks, will all be in the pinned comments right underneath us. I hope you enjoyed that. That was, it kind of takes me 15 minutes to actually discuss what you want, what cards are really good that you want to mulligan for early. So, in the first deck, just play it in curve from 2 and play it like a normal Demacia deck. This one, try and get as many 2-drop units to stabilize your board and then go mad with all the dragons that are on the end and use Rally to win the game. My name is Seth Holocron. Thank you so much for watching the first of these champion decks by 2. So until the next one, which is going to be about Soraka, thanks for watching. Dongers out.